believe in election integrity, and that goes along with, let's say we don't have a legislature that's going to work with us. By being governor, we're able to have our own cabinet, appoint deputy and director heads of departments, and there's 170 boards and commissions that the governor appoints and approves, which includes the Office of Elections, campaign spending commissions, Board of Medicine, all these different areas. So we're asking you to front load and register on just Google boards and commissions Hawaii, and put in your application to be one of those board members, so that we get this thing fixed at the local level and bring it on up to get things resolved. Okay, your question?
Yeah, I'd like to know what kind of business experience you have before you started to get into politics.
Okay, well, the question was, what kind of business experience do I have? So a long time ago, born and raised in Mississippi, I had a mom who, single parent. She was an entrepreneur. She worked in the factory. So the entrepreneur side was she sold Avon, Avon from the living room, Tupperware, home interior. She worked in not McDonald's, but Pizza Hut, and she worked in a factory called Parker Hannifin. And she also prepared income taxes for people and did student aid, financial aid when kids go to school for people. So I knew I wanted to start a business when I was a child, but I didn't know what I needed to know. So what I did, I eventually left college from Vanderbilt University, and from there, I've always wanted to start a business. So I worked for government first, because they say if you want to know, learn from the best, right? On regulation and all these other kind of on all these other different things. So I started with the IRS and SBA, Small Business Administration, to find out the system and the process of how do I start a business. Because I had heard, like maybe a lot of you, that the first thing you need to do is start an LLC. Go find an attorney. And I'm thinking, well, what did they know about selling something? So figuring out what my idea was first in order to be able to know what I was going to sell, that was big. So long story short, I went to college, majored in human and organizational development at Vanderbilt University, and got into the real world after playing some college and professional football. And what that looked like was I worked in Child Protective Services, juvenile probation, adult probation, and I've even worked in a prison since I've been in Hawaii. So being in those environments, what it showed me was, until people's basic needs are met, they will not thrive. So that turned another gear in my mind to figure out, how can I have a business that helps people, right? So it came down to, I've always wanted to start a business, and what that led me to was, well, build a business around consulting, education, information, right? So getting into that consulting, I was approached by a government agency to be in charge of contract procurement. So government contract.
Can you talk a little closer? The people down there can't hear you.
All right. If we can turn that mic up. Can anybody hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So working in as a director of government contract and procurement. So that means my job was to help small, minority, veteran, and woman-owned businesses to sell their products, goods, and services to the state, local, and federal government. So again, going into that, a lot of people didn't realize how much doing that could benefit their business. So I took the pieces that I thought everybody could use on how to start, manage, or grow a business, and turn it into a consulting business. So I could share that with people so that they would know the most efficient ways to grow their business. Government contracting, right? It's pretty, they need everything. So I was excited to share that. So that's pretty much what I do now. As a business consultant, I help people to start, manage, and grow their businesses, utilizing systems and processes. So taking your vision in order to make sure it's going to make some money, and then adding some other components to it so that it actually works, right? Or spot checking along the way wherever you are. So that's what I do from a business perspective, and that's what I've done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else have any questions? Go ahead.
Very important to pick their perfect LG, you know. When Duke Owner ran for, he was LG, then he ran for governor. He had some crazy lady run his LG, and she sunk his boat. So make sure you pick the right person for the return.
I appreciate that. And one of the things that we wanted to do with this campaign is, way back in the beginning, we had a conversation with a lady who said, we have everything that we need right here in Hawaii. And I asked her, I said, where are they? Introduce me to them, right? So that's part of the path that we've been on. If you know these names and if you know these people, because in Hawaii, the two races are separate, right? And I think Pastor Junior here today, so I want to share our Hawaii First Economic Recovery Plan with him, and I hear a couple other people are considering running for representatives in Hawaii to share that, so we're all on the same page, right? And any feedback that they can add to make it better, so that we all understand what's working and we can share the plan. We have a plan that works, right? So thank you for that feedback. You had a
I was
question?
going to ask you your motto for your campaign and getting the other side to actually know what they don't have and what they need.
So he was asking about the model for the campaign, so that we know what we have and the other side knows what we have as well. So the motto, and our campaign chair, she said, we've been saying it the whole time. We've been saying it the whole time. So it comes down that we're simply going to say Hawaii first. That's our campaign motto, right? Hawaii first. Who's not with that? Everybody is. Based off of what's been going on the last few years, and then even before that, Hawaii has not put its own self first. So that's what we're about. That's what we're doing. That's why it's going to take an outsider to win, because we're going to put Hawaii first. Is there another question? Any other questions? Well, again, it's paulmorganforgovernor.com is the website. We're on social media, Facebook, Instagram,